Please welcome to the stage the bastard who at a bitter age of 6 years old shined down as the sun and melted Frosty in his first-grade production of Frosty the Snowman. Here is the executive director of LA Stage Alliance, the bastard himself, Terence McFarland.
Thank you so much. Today, the Ovation Awards fall on the national holiday honoring Martin Luther King's birthday. A day traditionally celebrated with community service, not self-congratulation. So I'd like to fully embrace his presence in the room tonight by remembering some of his lessons, like what it means to be great. Dr. King said, everybody can be great, because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject or your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. We annually remember great men and women like Martin Luther King Jr. because we crave the collective celebration of the lessons they taught and the principles they stood for. Holidays like today are the best national theater. We call to mind the same images, retell the stories of the same heroes, feel our hearts like fists beating against the same villains, speak the same lines, remind each other of the same dreams. We weigh our lives against our forefathers' expectations for us, and we weigh our world against their visions. Looking at the diversity in themes and talents represented by tonight's nominees should make us proud of the way the greater Los Angeles theater community proves Dr. King's words. Almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better. Few, if any, of today's King Day celebrations focus on Martin Luther King's respect for the creative community and its task of uplifting society. But this was a theme visited regularly by the Reverend Dr. King. First, there's his great piece of advice to development directors everywhere. The art of acceptance is the art of making someone who has just done you a small favor wish that he might have done you a greater one. Right? Keep those checks coming. And it's as though he were speaking to us all in the last couple of years of economic calamity when he insisted that every man must decide if he will ride in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. And it may humble every artist in the room to be reminded of Dr. King's prediction that human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. And may I just say, it is with pride and gratitude that I look out into a room full of some of the most creatively maladjusted people in the world. Finally, looking at tonight's awards through the eyes of Martin Luther King, it is impossible not to notice injustice where it glares out at us. It becomes impossible not to notice that all the nominees in the category playwriting for an original play, for instance, are men. Not all white men, not all straight men, but all men nonetheless. And so we must say, in the words of Martin Luther King, no, no. We are not satisfied. We will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Like the Ovation Awards themselves, all of our theaters are vital and growing systems which must be striving towards greater inclusion and greater representation as they evolve. Thanks, in the back. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge those who allow for the continual evolution of the Ovation Awards. The Ovation voters, the Ovation Rules Committee, the Board of Governors, and staff of LA Stage Alliance. Tonight, we do not stand apart from any other workers in this land, but as workers among workers. We follow Dr. King's exhortation that all labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Tonight, we honor painstaking excellence among us. Thank you.